things there.
Not too bad.
But we're going to go for a drive back in until we hit a bit of service so we can have a look at the radar and see what the weather is doing. If it isn't about to flood us out anytime soon, we're going to go and have a look at a waterfall. If it is going to flood us out anytime soon, we'll reevaluate and let you know. Just a little python chilling on a log. Bit more nature this weekend. Not sure what kind of python, we'll have to look that up, but very cool, honey.
Yeah. Plenty of wildlife, hubby.
So guys, we had a little bit of a look at the radar and decided that we should definitely just send it.
Yep.
So we're on the hunt for a waterfall. Hopefully the weather holds and we get to find it and show you guys something pretty cool. Fingers crossed. And as I say that, it starts to spit rain, but that's fine. It's all good.
So there we go. We'll try and find it, and if we do, we will show you guys.
Fingers crossed.
On my way home, stumbling on the pavement, yeah, yeah. No sleep in my body, last night got me wasted, yeah, yeah. Ain't nobody calling.
So just past like a little walking track thing off the side of the road.
Creek and stuff down there looks pretty cool.
So I pulled up and I'm gonna have a look.
Called Middle Creek, if anyone wants to know. In the Sherwood Nature Reserve.
Big old tree, loads and loads of staghorns and everything growing off it. Talk about the tree of life. Unfortunately, due to all the rain that we've had,
That without a winch probably isn't an option.
yeah, we're on our own, we're in unfamiliar territory. We don't have a winch. As much as we want to see the waterfall,
That's pretty wet.
Yeah.
In clay and slop and not fun.
Yeah. So we're gonna give it a pass today.
It's fun trying.
It's fun trying, and we'll be back tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. We'll be back next time
Hopefully with either a friend or a winch.
in better weather.
Yeah.
Bummer. If we could be guaranteed that this was the worst part of the track that we would pass, maybe, but
We can't, and Coffs Harbour's pretty notorious for stuff like that.
and it's still raining, so it's only going to get worse. So even if we get over it this time, there's no guarantee we're getting back down.
Unfortunately, without a winch, today we can't just send it.
So as bummed as we are, and we are pretty bummed, shit happens. And we'll go find something else to explore that's not quite so muddy. I know it probably doesn't even look that bad on camera, guys, but Joel nearly lost a boot testing it out, so.
Yeah, I don't really want to get stuck in it on our own.
We're 6 hours from home and our nearest support, so just not worth it.
No.
Next time.
Another little python. Much smaller than that one. Only a little fella. Kind of like a 5-footer. He's cute, but he's very inquisitive. Yeah, he's just checking us out. There he goes. Off back in the bush. Only like 18 degrees today, guys, so he's pretty slow and chilled out.
Well, we got back from our morning of slightly disappointingly not chasing waterfalls, so we've decided to reward ourselves with some English muffins that I've left to burn and Joel's taken over, and a nice cup of tea, warm ourselves up a bit before we take on. Oh, and there's the kettle. Who doesn't love a good old school kettle? Nothing quite like a good English muffin with some whipped cream, maple syrup, and a nice hot cup of tea on a cold, wet day in the bushes there, babe. Yum.
Pretty good.
And the rain sort of stopped for us, so we're going to go for a little bit of an explore. There are 2 entrances from the campsite down to the creek. So taking one that leads you down to a bit of a platform. The entrance to this is through some walking campsites. I didn't take note of the number, but I'll have a look when we go back. So this is Station Creek. That Station Creek campground is named after. I'm imagining that it's normally much nicer colour.
It's very tanniny at the moment.
Yeah, a lot of mud and tannin runoff thanks to the recent rains and floods and whatnot. Normally, if the weather was nicer, you could walk down this lovely set of steps here and jump on in for a swim. Head over to the sand flats. Generally enjoy your day. Okay, so we just looked. If you want direct access to the creek, you're wanting at campsite 9, but it is walk-in only, so guess you got to measure it up. There is one more walking track from the campground to the creek, which we're about to have a look at. It's called Corkwood Scribbly Gum Walk. So it says 850 meters to Station Creek, or a 2k return hike to something called Blackbutt Point, which we're not really sure what that is. And if you want about campsite 2 if you want easy access to this one. So I was wrong, or we were wrong. This track doesn't take you to the creek, it takes you to above the creek to a bit of a lookout. Probably not really worth it, to tell you the truth. It's
not in this kind of weather anyway.
It's really not even a nice view.
Pretty overdone.
Just that. But you gotta explore to find out. We're not going to continue on to Blackbutt Point, wherever that is. Just it's literally getting quite heavy right now, and I'm going back to the camper.
Yeah.
So maybe later.
I don't know why they say it's an hour and a half return. It's 1k and this is 850 meters, and
that took us maybe
10 minutes
at most. And we're not fit. We're not fit people. So if you're even remotely fit, you'll do it in half the time. Alright. But we're gonna head back and probably get changed. Alright, So that was the walks to Station Creek from Station Creek Campground in the rain. Hopefully when you guys come and do it yourselves to experience it, it is
Nice and sunny.
It is nice and sunny. We're definitely coming back because it really is. It's such a beautiful place. And we haven't got to explore half of what we wanted to explore this weekend thanks to the weather. Hopefully, but next time we come back it's all sunshine. And do you a little walking tour of the camping ground we're at. So we're staying at Station Creek Campground, which is in the, I can't say it, National Park.
Yarigurai or something like that.
Something along those lines. I think it's about $25 a night. This the campsite. So every campsite is equipped with its own little picnic seat, fire drum. This down this way is the like the toilets. So they're just like a drop toilet setup.
If you come here, guys,
Don't be like these people.
We're going to take that with us.
Now these guys have just left their rubbish. There's bins provided at the exit. There's, you know, there's no need for it whatsoever. The bush turkeys are pretty game here.
He doesn't want any bit of grass.
No. This is the toilet block. Do you know, as far as camping goes, we've camped in the state forests and national parks. State forest toilets are much cleaner, always. You don't have to pay to stay in a state forest.
Go figure.
Yeah. But you do have a nice little bridge that you get to walk over to your blue block. It's all pretty new, like it's not terrible, but state forests are better.
This is some of the walking blocks.
Yep, so these are the ones you can have if you're in a tent or a swag. You cannot drive up to them. I think there are about 30 campsites here, but some of them are very small campsites.
And some of them are walking.
And some of them are walking. And some... Yeah, they do have wood supplied here because remember you cannot collect wood in a national park. You do drive through a state forest to get here, and you can collect wood in state forests. But yeah, they have like sawmill offcuts which are green as grass, but
they're not too bad.
They're
as long
okay.
as you like have some form of kindling, which I'm pretty sure you can collect like sticks off the ground.
Yeah. You okay?
Anyway.
Go down here. These are some more walk-in campsites down here. The vast majority of them are walk-in. And if you are
I know a lot in national park.
If you are a tent or a slag camper, they are actually the nicer blocks around, a lot grassier than the ones for caravans or camper trailers. Yeah, so there's, I think there might be like 4, 5, something like that campsites in there. So I mean, when I say they're little, if it's full, you're going to be on top of your neighbours. A little walk here, we're not entirely sure where to. The signage doesn't really tell me. We think possibly around to Pebbly Beach. This sign just tells me the Pebbly Beach Station Creek Conservation Restoration Project. Doesn't actually tell me what the walk is. But yeah, we will probably not go too far down it today because it's quite wet and the sky is quite gloomy. But if we get some better weather tomorrow, it's definitely something to explore. I followed that path down a little bit because, well, I'm curious. A little drain crossing thing up onto some sand. The ocean definitely sounds stronger. I imagine if you kept following it, which we're not going to do today because I don't particularly feel like getting saturated.
It's a bit of a walk.
But yeah, something to explore on a nicer weather day. Okay, so despite what we said twice about not doing this walk today because we don't want to get wet,
we're on the walk.
We did a good portion of this walk. It's now started to rain. Yeah, that's the creek that you can access from the
mouth of the river.
I don't know if you guys can see all the way over there to the ocean and the mouth of the river. Much more of the walk to be done, but it is now raining, so
that'll go through.
And so that was camp. That's where we're staying, Station Creek. We're back at our camp, just a little bit damper than we intended to be, but that's okay. You gotta explore, guys. You never know what you might find. That's what you always tell me, thank you.
Pretty much.
Yeah, doesn't matter, but yeah, we're back at camp, nice and dry, so it's all good.
Yep. If you come here, guys, what side of it? 25?
25.
It's pretty good for like a small to medium sized camper trailer or caravan.
So we fit pretty well perfectly, but we wouldn't like to be too much bigger. 26
is a pretty big site. That's good if you have a pretty big setup.
Yeah. The ones over behind
23 and 4 I think it is behind us.
If you're coming with a friend, they're the two that you want because it's quite it's a big area overall, but you wouldn't want to be smushed in there with someone you didn't know. Unless you're super friendly, and then well.
April's not super friendly.
April's not super friendly.
Does not play well with others.
April does not play well with others, no. But yeah, that's a rundown of the sites. So if you're planning on coming here, you can be a little bit more prepared and know what you're getting into. However, we will put the warning out there. I think we've said it already, but if you are coming, Airguard, Bushman's, Citronella Candle, layers of clothing, the mozzies will still find you.
They're pretty bad. Probably one of the worst spots. So if you're allergic to mozzies, go to Pebbly Beach because there's none there. It's harder to get to, but it's on the ocean, so you don't have the mozzies. But in this tree rainforest area, they are pretty bad.
Look, we don't know how bad they are normally because, like I think we've already said, we have had, you know, significant floods and there's a lot of water lying around. But I think even normally they would be not great.
Yeah. Few sandflies, but nothing like the mozzies. The mozzies are pretty bad.
So be prepared, guys.
So I'm not sure if someone owns these horses or they're wild, but there's horses everywhere. So yeah, not sure if they're wild or what. They definitely don't have people with them. There's actually there used to be wild cattle and my horses really grafting, so it wouldn't surprise me if they are wild.
It's amazing. Up there.
What are you doing up there, mate? Hey? Plenty of wildlife around.
Not wrong.
Seen a fair bit today.
Today only we have seen bush turkeys, swamp hens, fish, crabs, red belly black snake, turtle, wild horses. I think, have we seen anything else? I think that about covers it.
I think there's a couple of other things, but I can't remember. A few different birds and that, but that's not that.
Yeah, some like pretty wrens and
kookaburras, lorikeets.
plenty of lorries.
But yeah, old horses and new one. The turkeys are pretty friendly here. Maybe it should be called Turkey Creek. We have named this fella, his name's Fred. And he likes apple and cinnamon muffins and long strolls on the beach.
So it's been one very wet afternoon, hasn't it, honey?
Yep.
So we were going to do a camp oven tonight on the fire, but between the fact that it hasn't stopped raining in hours, so everything is saturated, including the wood, and we don't want to get saturated cooking dinner. We've had a bit of change of tactic. So we're doing chicken wraps. So this is a bit of our own recipe we're going to do. Joel's going to slice up the chicken into some strips. And then I'm going to make a coating. We've got some flour, some salt, some curry powder, paprika, cayenne pepper, and like a taco seasoning that I'm going to add to the flour. If we're at home and I have everything that we usually used, I would add like onion and garlic powder and a few things like that too, but you know, needs must and we're camping, so we'll rough it.
Chicken wraps in the bush and it's roughing it.
It's not even close, but yeah. Coat it up, cook it up in some super fry on the gas cooker, and it will be a little bit like a KFC style kind of wrap, so should be yummy. You just measure all of those seasonings with your heart. There's probably exact measurements you're supposed to use, but I just throw things in and keep mixing until it looks right. Mostly I just like to add curry powder and salt are my two favourite seasonings. So that's sort of what overpowers, or tends to overpower our recipe, doesn't it, honey?
Pretty much.
You just crack some eggs into a bowl as well, part of the coating. Whisk them up so they're nice and mixed in. You throw the chicken in our flour mix, which looks like this now, into the egg, into the flour, and then, yeah, shallow fry or deep fry it, and it is delicious.
It is pretty yummy.
It's one of those recipes, you know, you can have as much seasoning or as little seasoning as you want to sort of affect the taste. Tends to be a bit easier at home when you have a few more utensils around, but that's alright. All coated up and ready for the pan. Alright, got some oil nice and hot over the rain. Pop the chicken in. And this is what you end up with. Some crispy fried chicken. We're going to make into some wraps. Guys, it's our last morning here, and I think it hasn't stopped raining since lunchtime yesterday.
No, so it could be a little bit of an interesting trip out.
Yeah, there's a causeway we have to go over, as well as some very slippery, climby hills. So hopefully it's our last morning here, because I'm going to be pissed if we get all packed up and then can't get out of here.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
And it's going to be a very wet pack up. And do as much of the pack up as we can before we drop our awning, and then just accept fate.
Yeah.
But despite...
So that's camping in the rain.
It is, and you know, you can't guarantee the weather every time. And you know, despite the weather, we've really had an awesome weekend.
Yeah. Even the weather, it hasn't been great, but it hasn't been as bad as it could have been.
It could have been worse. It could have been like this from the minute we got here. We did get really, really nice weather on Friday. It's just, yeah, from lunchtime Saturday till this morning, not great.
No.
Them's the break spot. Alright guys, that's us all packed up. I think our quickest pack up ever. As always, don't forget to leave your campsite better than you found it. And make sure you take everything with you, your fire's out, all of that jazz, you all know how it goes. We're going home for a hot shower, but...
5.5 to 6 hours. Well, we made it back to the main road, guys, in one piece. Bit muddy. besides that, pretty good. Bit slippery, bit wet, but we made it. That's it for this one, guys. Another adventure done and dusted. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss anything, and we'll catch us on the next one.
Yeah, looking forward to our next adventure. We're off to Nundle in a couple of weeks, so we'll bring you along for that adventure. Meantime, don't forget to check out our Instagram and TikTok, and we'll see you next time.